day by day, year by year, we are becoming more desensitized. Desensitized from reality. We are in a time whereby if someone is involved in an accident or an incident where they need assistance, no one is there to help. Not that people are not there, they're practically right there. But it's easier for them to remove their phones, their tablets, whatever accessories they have, and take a video and get the views of just being there. Like doing nothing but just being there practically. We are in a time where governments are pressing down on people to an extent with the inflation and everything. Everyone is trying to put money and food on the table. In the process, our relationship, and this is just like, rapport, building rapport become something of the past. So everyone becomes a commercial commodity to another. For example, let's say you get hurt or get followed in an accident. Someone will assist you, but you'll have to pay for it. It once happened to me, I recall. Was involved in a very bad accident. I mean, that should be 2014, I think. And I was knocked down by a public transport, thrown into a big ditch, a big hole. And when I was left there, I was rescued by some people. Street kids actually are the ones who actually helped me. And I remember these breakdown guys who came and they told me, hey, we can give you a scratch. This is called the one for holding the scratches, I think. Crutches. But deliver it by Monday. I was knocked down on a Friday. I was unconscious and I couldn't feel my limbs. At the same time, I recall some ladies came, let's say they're in early 20s. They were removing videos that say, have you seen? And then and then I recall what was saddening for me is the car that knocked me down at that time was a public car. And there were people inside the car. And in a public transport, we have bull bars. They had bull bars. Whether it's legal or not, well, it's a whole different conversation. So that's what knocked me. He was actually jumping the traffic lights. And there's a very big hole. It was not sealed off by the county council. So I was very cool. I was waiting there. It was green for me to walk. So it was for me to move. This car decided to jump. So I was knocked, thrown. One leg got stuck in the hole. And then the other one, to this day, I never remember what happened to the other leg. I can't really remember because I lost consciousness in between. But at the end of the day, the people inside the car didn't give a crap about my safety or anything. They just didn't want to go home. Maybe go tell their spouses or their friends the story about a guy who got knocked down and they did nothing. Why am I bringing that into this? Because this is just part of the many scenarios we are witnessing where we are in life. And it's becoming a common phenomenon. And now with the political instabilities, with the economies and everything, people are becoming numb. And having traveled to a few countries a little bit, I've noticed this. I can't mention names, but I noticed this in a particular one that I'd gone, whereby I recall a lady, I think she was drunk. I was in drunken stupor the night before, and actually she was pregnant, but she didn't know about the pregnancy part, or maybe she did but didn't take it serious. So it's one or the other. And she came to work in drunken stupor and had not eaten through and not taken anything, so she collapsed. So I was just arriving at the time. I was dropping some documents. At that time, I was a HR. So I was dropping some documents, and so guys called me up and like, hey, Norris. Before I even said anything, I was putting the car and everything. So what I noticed when we arrived at this hospital is her boyfriend came, but didn't assist her. Looked, walked. Her brother came, looked, walked. Her sister came. I mean, her sister was even funny because her sister not only just came, she sat on the bed, the one for patients, and was stuck on her phone. I recall another friend came, was stuck on her phone. I ended up having to literally put her on a wheelchair, wheel her around all the way. I think up to the one where the ladies are, what was it called? The one where they check you have a baby, the scan, I'm forgetting the name, the one for the scan for women, if they're pregnant or anything. I ended up doing all that. Not that there were no people. No one gave a damn. So after making sure and dropping her home and everything and sitting out by myself, and I asked someone from that country and asked them, is this a common phenomenon? And they told you, yeah. Ideally in this country, we do not believe in helping someone because of the financial situation that can come with it. So we have no issue seeing someone else assist that person. We'll just come there and celebrate. That's one. Another different community, a different country also, I cannot mention names. I saw a similar thing. During they were getting married and the guy was very poor. The lady was a bit better off, not like 100%, but better off. And it was from a war-torn country. And I remember I was called to come and assist them. And I volunteered, they volunteered them from a war-torn country, even right now still a war-torn country. And I recall during the whole process of trying to help them out and figuring out, their wedding, their venue and everything. It's interesting because what I noticed, their weddings first before the day of the wedding, they eat goat meat, and after the day, that should be around 10, and then the wedding will start around 1 p.m, somewhere around 1 p.m. And because of the financial situation, they don't have this honeymoon thing, so they will move to just a place. It could be where they get up, or let's say it's a school or an institution that will offer them just a ground, so they just do the photo session and then they go home. I mean, that's literally the wedding's over and marriage has started. Capiche? This is nothing complex. But I noticed the people who are not there to support them. These were the people who came, the people who were part of the community in that moment. They were never there. They just came later on. And these are just few snapshots. And these are different countries. Again, can't mention names. But it's something I noticed, and I sat down and asked myself, is it common? And I realized it is. And because so many times you say so westernized kind of thinking of the desensitization, but I'm from Africa, and these are issues I noted within Africa, within my fellow countries around, the ones that I've interacted with, and it's nothing so unfamiliar. So are we desensitized as a society? Generally, I believe we are. Looking at how disasters strike a nation. So we have the shock moment, and then we have the pointing fingers moment, and then we have the silent moment, and then we have the moving on moment. Think about how many disasters that we have witnessed. Let's say 2025. How bad were they? How many lives were lost? Was there proper accountability? Was there anyone held accountable? Was there anyone arrested? Was there any laws or policies that were enacted? No. So now let's switch roles and let's be the people who who are in this situation. They are there thinking, oh, the government will save me. Oh, my family will save me. Oh, maybe the house is burning. Oh, whatever it is. No one is actually coming to save you. That's the saddest part. Because everybody is saying someone, for example, if you're involved in an accident, what's the first thing people say? Insurance will sort it out. But do you understand that insurance, their main thing is to make sure those claims never get paid? So they will fight you every margin of error. I know that because I had an incident with a car accident, and I was admitted, and I'm literally in the hospital. It's like it was on the 10th. The accident was on the 7th of January. On the 10th, no, on the 8th, I'm admitted. Nothing is done actually. On the 9th, the surgery is done. The police are fleeted on my hand. On the 9th, on the 10th, I have to now do a rundown fighting with the insurance. And I can't even move my arm. And they're trying to make sure I never get the claims. I mean, it took me 5 months, prayers, patience, and fighting a war of emails. But eventually we did it. All I'm trying to say, are we desensitized as a society? We are. Can we change it? One person at a time, I believe. Generally, I don't think so. But one person at a time, I believe we are. Because at the end of the day, the saddest story is to be the one who is sinking, thinking that you're going to be thrown this tire to help you float, only to realize that it was not hooked to anything and it's just a tube, and now you have to sink and be food for the fish or sharks or whatever it is. We can change that, but only one person at a time. If you are real with ourselves and honest with ourselves, we can make a difference, one person at a time.